modern day masculine man, take one.
What makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight, a modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't break you, or not me, and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. Woo!
What up, fam? What up? Come one, come all. Come on into the building, y'all. Come on into the house. Come on into mi casa. Come on into the tabernacle, to the church, to the mosque, to the temple, to the synagogue. Come on in. It is Wednesday, hump day, Ranting and Raving Wednesday. And I'm here live with my co-host, the lovely Miss Carla, Nicole. How you doing today, Miss Carla?
I am amazing this very beautiful Wednesday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you, handsome? How are you?
I'm excellent. I am excellent. I'm doing well.
Nice.
So before we get started, I'm pretty sure you got a good topic for us tonight. I'm having a wonderful beginning of the week. When I say I'm having a wonderful of the week, I mean it's like it seemed like it's damn near Friday already. It seemed like this week is going by fast, so I must be very happy. How's your week going? Like, what you got going on good? Tell the people something you got good. You got any new services you offering? Any new books? Anything new in the works?
Well, right now on my Patreon, I am working on, we have the Living Soul numerology system. And currently I am working on discussing about our soul version of ourselves. And I think sometimes we don't realize the importance of knowing ourself enough. I don't think we do enough real soul study. We love studying our lovers and studying our kids and studying, our friendships and our friend groups or whatever. Just don't take enough time to study our own soul. So right now, currently, I am helping us to visit our actual soul version of self, because it's very important for us to know what version of ourself we are, because I don't think we realize that we practice who we are at all times. And sometimes we're doing and servicing the spirit or servicing the community or servicing our lover or lovers in a role we are not in properly. So that's currently what I'm working on in Patreon. And the name of that actual whole series that I'm working on is called Zen for Soul Abandon. So that's helping people to realize that the abandoned soul that they've got going on inside is because of not really knowing the soul version they are.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Do you feel like you're going in and out a little bit? Can you hear yourself good, or is everything good on your end?
Are you hearing yourself okay?
Yeah, it seemed like you was going in and out a little bit, but that could have been. It seemed like I see my Wi-Fi bouncing, but I got it hooked up to my actual thing. So everything should be good. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. What you got for us today? What's the topic for tonight?
So the topic is inflated ego culture. The all or nothing demands that push people away. I have been enlightened to come across some people that, you know, we like to call them conceited, or we like to say the person is big headed, or, you know, beside themselves, as the book calls it. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about the inflated ego tonight because in relationships, and I know you know this, a lot of times we as women will have our demands, and we're not realizing that the demands we're asking for isn't really matching the ego we think we are to the degree we believe we should receive. So
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes getting in this bungee pull back and forth with a lover because we're demanding elite catering and caviar style of loving from someone,
Mm-hmm.
and for no other reason but just for who we believe we are, which is we believe we're celebrity. And it's like, okay, but are you or not? So we're gonna talk tonight about the inflated ego, where you think you're all this and that, but and then you have the high demands of wanting to get certain catering or certain care or certain, should I say, status in your love affair because of who you believe you are. Yet
Yeah.
the real world, we're finding that that's not matching properly. And again, we're going back to the soul version of who you are. And if your soul version isn't really matching who you are authentically, then what you're kind of telling yourself is untruths.
Yeah, I could see that because just looking at the social media platform and seeing what people are saying they want now. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll be looking, I'll be like, you don't look like you deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't look like you deserve that. Like especially with men. I think men think they can earn their way into a certain category of woman,
Mm-hmm.
and once they feel like they've earned their way into a certain category of woman,
Mm-hmm.
then when they get done dirty or the woman use them, they start disliking women. And it's like, well, you you weren't supposed to have that woman. For example, I'll say Tyrese and his ex-wife,
Oh
uh,
boy, here we go.
Tyreek Hill. It's like, you're not supposed to have a certain woman. Like everybody can look at you, and people, I always used to play this game. Me and Chris, we would be out at a restaurant, and we would play a game like who to catch. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like we would be looking at couples coming in, and we would be like, who to catch? Like who the person that's the one that's like, that's the catch. Like, I can't believe he got her, or I can't believe she got him. So
Mm-hmm.
we used to just play this game at the restaurant, like, damn, he the catch or she the catch. And it's like when you look at Tyrese and you look at that woman, no matter that fact that he's a millionaire actor, you still be like, she the catch. Boy, you know you ain't supposed to have that woman.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get in situations where you can look at somebody and tell who to catch, and if somebody ain't really supposed to have somebody, that's when they get done dirty and drugged. And a lot of times I don't feel sorry for nobody like that. Tyreek Hill, little short black guy, got this pretty yellow girl, and they was married for I think 7 months,
Mm-hmm.
and she divorced him, and now she's asking for $115,000 a month
Mm-hmm.
in child support.
Right.
And it's like he's sitting there acting, and I'm like, what the fuck you thought was gonna happen, man? What
Yeah.
is it? You thought this woman liked you? When you was in high school and elementary school,
Right.
girls didn't like you like that. Now, why all of a sudden your ego is so inflated because you got a certain amount of money that you think these women like you for you? They don't like you for you.
No. But I'm glad you asked that question because that's what this is about. The inflated ego comes from insecurities and unhealed pain of being abandoned from past, and that abandonment doesn't necessarily mean it came from a lover. It could be abandoned as a child. It could be neglect as a child. It could be mistreated as a child. It could even be just unseen as a child, or any of those things can cause someone to have these experiences. See, what's deep is a lot of times we believe that if we're in a love affair and we have these love affair mishaps or unevenness in, like you said, ego to ego, they don't match. Well, that's true. But a lot of times they don't match because that person, when they went through the pain of neglect, the pain of abuse, the pain of mistreatment, they didn't know what else to do. So when they went through it, what they did was they ended up becoming vengeful and revengeful against that abuse, but not with words. Oftentimes they would do it in their private thoughts. And in that, I bet you I'll show you. And in that I'll show you, they started filling themselves up with lies instead of dealing with the healing that's necessary to correct and combat that. So the neglect, the vulnerability, and the unfortunate unhealed pain, they just took it upon themselves to take it and figure out a way to now build this armor around them. So, perfect example. I'm glad you used Tyrese. He's one of my favorite singers, and I love his soul. And Tyrese is also in his living soul. He really has had some challenges, especially with that ex-wife of his. But it's really not about what she looks like. Yes, she was a very attractive, beautiful woman. But what he didn't realize is it wasn't her attraction to him that he thought it was, that she drew to him. Many people think that in these celebrity exposés or whatever, a lot of people believe it's about the money. But actually, that woman is just as broken or probably worse than Tyrese was. So normally when they meet or come together, they meet trauma to trauma. Most likely she was probably abused young, neglected young, molested young. She's a very pretty girl. Most likely those girls are oftentimes pretty but broken women, very broken. I don't know how many beautiful women sit across my table and you're thinking, my God, you have the most beautiful looks I've ever seen. But when they start telling you all the neglect from fatherless experiences, and sometimes the fathers aren't necessarily abusive, but the fathers could be in the home and misguide them. Or tell them they're all only going to be worth their pussy that they give away. And so in their mind, Tyrese is a man that had what? Money, which is actually money doesn't represent anything other than preservation or a lifestyle that she was desirous of. And when she was young and was probably abused, neglected, or mistreated, oftentimes those women are going to go in their soul and say, I bet you this won't happen again. And so Tyrese ends up paying the bill financially. But he actually also was traumatically mistreated because he talks about it in many conversations that when he was young, he was just overlooked, mistreated in his family. So this is unhealed abandonment that comes to the forefront in the inflated ego. And then we go out here and we start dating without even knowing for sure if that ego has been looked at.
So let me get this. Let me try to understand and make sure I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
The psychology behind it. Are you saying the unhealed abandonment, an unhealed person creates this big ego to protect themselves? So it's like, I need a motherfucker that got this, and this. And if you don't do this, this, and this, you can't be with me.
Yep.
And it's the way to protect themselves, kind of like self-sabotaging their own relationships by being very demanding for no reason.
Yes, sir.
Or are you saying the motherfucker really, really, really think they deserve that shit?
No, it's a falsity in the soul, in the spirit. So in our soul, we have different ways to where we try to self-soothe. You remember when you were told, stop all that crying, go lay down, go figure it out, hush up all that noise, clean that face up. You're still palpitating and can't hardly breathe. Shut it up. Boys don't do all that crying. Well, okay, but you do realize that that child is still panting and trying to breathe, and you're telling him to stop, and he's having a hard time stopping. Well, where do you think those tears go when no one allows the flow of the tears to just stop on their own? They end up going back inward. And then the unhealed hurt, pain starts to grow inside the soul and spirit. And when that grows, it grows into an undeniable shield of armor. Because I'm not going to allow this to happen to me again. I'm going to come up with a plan to where I don't feel this pain. And this is why so many people are dealing with the abandonment issue, Javon, because they don't realize that even when they're treating people wrong, short-tempered, even when they feel certain ways about certain things, you're thinking that it has to do with today, and that has to do with when you were just treated different in the family. People will whisper about you and you could hear it.
You know, it's funny when you say that, you know, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Sometimes I think I was a little bit different. Like, I can vividly remember my childhood. Like, sometimes I go back and I just sit down and I think about myself as a child. And I remember faking a lot. Like, I remember being a child, like if somebody took my toy or something, I remember saying to myself, I'ma scream so loud and act like somebody done fucking killed me just because they took my toy. You know what I'm saying? I remember saying that. Like, I remember my mom fussing at me or having to pop me when I was little, and I would be like, I'm gonna act like she killed me. I'm gonna act like she killed me. I want her to feel bad because I'm hurt.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I used to get an ass whipping when I was little, and I used to didn't cry. And I used to say to myself, I ain't even gonna cry so she can think that I don't want her to think that she hurting me. And I would not cry on purpose. And then there was sometime with some people, if I with my aunts or somebody who I liked better than my mama, or I didn't expect to get an ass whipping from, I would be like, if they just fuss me or tap me the softest, I'ma cry loud as hell and act like somebody killed me.
Right.
So I guess me knowing that I was doing that as I became an adult, it's like I felt like I could always be honest. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm trying to sit here and think, have I ever set like crazy expectations on a person? You know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, I'm sitting here. I naturally I would have to ask the people, but in my mind, I always felt like I was fairly easygoing. Like, I just can't remember setting a lot of ultimatums, asking people for stuff. I guess as a man, we don't look at it like that, because as a man, in our minds, we feel like we the leaders, so it's our way or the highway.
Right.
So that could be the ultimatum that people say they don't, that I'm saying I don't set on people, my way or the highway.
Right.
But you know, I've always felt like two people tell each other what they want, and if you can't meet it, you can't meet it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, also,
I guess it just, go ahead.
let me ask you this. When you choose a woman, do you choose women that match you, or do you usually choose women that are really, if she stands next to you, people would be like, how did he pull her? See, that's the difference. Because normally the men that choose the women that are like Tyrese did, where they're like, that don't even Tyrese, you know better than that.
Yeah, I think I look at it like I might have been doing it in a reverse way. Say for example,
or the women, the ones giving you the ultimatum. I guess that could be the question.
Yeah, I think I would do it in the reverse way of Tyrese. So say for example, every time, and it wasn't a lot, but there have been times as a man that I've gotten a woman I thought was out of my league.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Where I'd be like, you know, because I always holler at all women just to see how my spit game is. I'm just a flirt. I'm a big flirt.
Right.
So I my friends know me. I'm trying to holler at the finest woman in the party that everybody's scared of. The woman that's standing out the most. I'm
Right.
trying to holler at her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I've gotten rejected by her a lot. You know what I'm saying? But the times that I got that woman that I said, oh shit, you ain't think you was gonna be able to get her.
Right.
It seemed like the sex was always trash, and it seemed like I always kind of tried to hurt their feelings. I don't know why. Like, say for example, like you said, Tyrese, that pretty fine girl, that yellow girl,
Right.
I always tried to hurt their feelings. When I said hurt their feelings, I always was more like, I hope you don't think I'm gonna be sweating you because you fine, and I know you fine. I always would like be nonchalant toward them, and it could have been my way of trying to avoid getting Tyrese. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. And see, this is the power of, and this is why I love doing Living Soul strategy and getting people to really go inward, because when we're doing these conversations, we're helping people to soul study. You know, when we're living life, we oftentimes we're just in the moment and we're not really paying attention to what am I really, or who was I in my pure state before I got into all the knowledge of what everybody else is doing. Who am I as a woman in my pure state? How did I act? What was I drawn to? And can I remember how it felt when being felt left out? Do I recall the times when I was abused, so-called? Do I feel the times when I was neglected or not chosen, and every guy liked her and I never got picked and all this stuff, and I had braces and corrective shoes and all kinds of things that I could tell you a million reasons why I wasn't getting so-called looked at or whatever. But at the end of the day, what did I end up saying to myself is hugely impactful on how we handle relationships and then love affairs. Because we don't really want to own the fact that our younger self still has stuff bagged up in the back here in our memory. So Chris might say something to you today, and you and Chris might get into it, and you might be addressing Chris in a different kind of level, and you're like, Chris is like, damn, that wasn't even necessary. Like, you went way left of center on something we're conversating about right now. Why did I get that type of response from you? Because back in the day, you was dating, we'll just make up a person, you was dating Charlene, and Charlene came at you negative, and so when Charlene did that, she made you feel this. And so when Chris triggered the same similar energy towards you in that way, automatically that memory comes and surfaces. This is the soul abandonment I'm talking about. This is why the Zen for soul abandonment is so powerful right now, and people are drawn to it, because I'm helping people to see your soul has abandonment stuff. We have stuff that's not been dealt with. And unfortunately, a lot of times we don't know that this is from yesterday. We're thinking we're in the present moment. No, this is unhealed shit right here. You just didn't know. And so I'm helping people to soul study, because when you soul study, you start to get more aware. Like, you know what? Chris, I apologize, man. I didn't realize that I had went all over here with you about what you said, and I took it wrong, or I took it to mean this. And she'll say, well, I wasn't even talking about that. I know, but let me finish. I was thinking that you were saying that because of a past experience that I didn't really realize that it wasn't healed. I didn't ever really address it. It felt away to me, and it really burnt me up. But you got the brunt of what happened. So these are why the soul abandonment talks and conversations and studying within this confine of our show, I believe will really help people to see, man, I have went left of center on some stuff, and it wasn't really deserved in the present, since it was something drawn from the past.
You know, ironically, you said that. I don't know if I ever said that. My ex is named Charlene. I don't know if I ever said that on the show.
But I I didn't connect it, but now you're right.
I'm thinking maybe I said it talking about her, you know, my
You
ex.
did, but I promise you that was
Yeah.
I just picked it out of the random. But yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Her name.
So I try to look at it, and I've always felt like when somebody give you an ultimatum, they think they better than you. Like they daring you. Like you wouldn't break up with me. You know, that's what an ultimatum always seemed like to me. Like, if you don't do this, if you don't give me a ring by this time, or if you don't give me some pussy by the third date, I am blah blah. It's like, to me, I've never really had nobody give me an ultimatum, you know. I guess that's how I think I've always man, I don't know how to say this. I ain't never really been heartbroken or hurt a lot, you know, or not at all. I can't remember, because it's like my granddaddy used to always say, like the person that like you know. So I think I've avoided a lot of pain, you know. Like I said, the girl that I thought I couldn't get, when I got her, I didn't try to keep her. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think I've gotten everything on my own merits. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people be thinking I'm being arrogant, but I'm a very handsome man to women. So if let's say if we look at men hypothetically, if I'm a 9 or a 10,
Right.
I'm only fucking with women on my level. And so if let's say if I'm an 8,
Right.
I like the 7 because she like me. If I'm an 8, I ain't trying to holler at no 10.
Mm-hmm.
But if I do holler at a 10 and I get somebody that I think out of my league, I'm happy that I fucked them and I keep it moving. I ain't finna try to damn lasso that whirlwind.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? It's like, I think so many people be like trying to like back in the day when my granddaddy used to say, I would hear him tell my uncles, boy, that's too much woman for you. You ever heard a man say that?
Yeah.
Or a woman said, "Tell you, girl, that's too much man for you."
Yeah.
It's like they looking at you, telling you out of your league. You finna get hurt.
Right. Absolutely.
They can look at that shit and tell.
Right.
So I always been the type of nigga, I ain't want nobody that I thought was too much woman for me. You know what I'm saying? If I met a woman, like I said, and I got to be with a woman that I was like, damn, she a 10. I can't believe I got to be with her. I looked at it as a lucky day.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I lucked out on this one. I ain't gonna try to be with this woman. This woman too fine. I ain't got enough. I know I ain't got enough money to goddamn for this woman's level of high maintenance. Or I know I ain't finna give her money like that. You know what I'm saying? So I've always said, okay, if I'm a 6 and that 4 like me, I'm going to get that 4. I'm cool. I want the person that like me. I like to be worshipped as a man. You know what I'm saying? So
well that's
I don't want nobody to think they look better than me. You know what I'm saying?
But that's one of the reasons why the inflated ego wouldn't be someone you would be attracted to. So again, this is one of the powers that, you know, you're already miles ahead of the average man. Most of the time, and I would say even the average woman, most of the time people really don't choose their match. They choose someone that they think is going to make them look better, or they're choosing someone that makes them feel like they're at the top of the world, or they're choosing who they like a lot of times. But I often say, well, you know, clients will come to me and they're struggling with, you know, well, I'm giving everything I got and he's not giving anything at all and all this and that. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, I know, but I really care. I'm like, but do you? Because the truth of the matter is, when we really look at this, you knew that man wasn't really a husband role to begin with. Just because a couple are married don't mean they're technically married. They're just legally binded. There's a lot of men that are in these roles as husbands, but really don't have any husbandry in their soul. They're not role playing as a husband. They're not. Pay attention. A lot of times you'll see these different couples and the woman is all wifely to a man that ain't got nothing to do with being nobody's husband. including if they're married or not. See, I always say you got to pay attention. Building awareness to my clients is vital for me. I don't let just a client sit here and be blind to what's going on. Like, first of all, why would you get in a relationship with someone and you know they don't hold a certain husband essence to them? That doesn't make any sense. And then you're giving all of this wifely love, but they're not deserving of it. I love one time we had a show and you said, a woman's got to earn your monogamy. But see, this is stuff that's not often talked about because most women assume that if they put their so-called rules up and tell you what you got to do, a man's going to mold in what they want him to mold into. And that's not true. This is why so many relationships are sexless, loveless, and purposeless. Because there is no real rejuvenating energies going back and forth.
You just said something, and I'm going through my head, and I can just remember growing up the way men describe their wife to other men, and the way men would agree. Hey, you got your ball and chain, with you today, and it's like men would say stuff like they were so miserable with that woman. You ain't got your ball and chain, or listening at the barbershop, I would hear men, and I would just be like, what kind of fucking men are these? No, I'm serious. It would be men be like, well, I got my hair cut and we going out to dinner. Hope I get me some tonight. You know what I'm saying? And it would be little stuff, and I would like hear these men saying they ain't had none in 3 months. And
yes, sir.
Like, what fucking men are these men? And they would be like good men, you would think, that work hard and pay bills and stuff. And then I'm thinking back to all they wives, they weren't supposed to have them women.
No.
They had a wife that was finer than who they were as a man. Like all the men I would hear say like how miserable they were. I mean, to me, just being honest, I'm happily married. I worship my wife. I love my wife. Right. My wife has morphed into who I need her to be, and I've morphed into who she needs me to be. But
right,
Carla, I swear to God, when I hear most married men talk, they talk like they fucking miserable. And I be like, how you stay married to this situation? And I know a few men that's like, that I feel like, and I don't want to say this the wrong way, that run their house. I don't know a lot of married men that run their house, yo. Do you feel like your daddy ran the house growing up, or how do you feel like it's like, I don't know. It's like, do you see, what do you feel about as far as percentages of people what you saw growing up? Did you see men run their house, or do you perceive men as running their house? Like some of your male clients, are they running their house or what? That's married. I just seen men, like when I hear men say, my better half and happy wife, happy life, gotta have your ball and chain. She let you out tonight, huh? It's like, I just feel like so many men have that Bill Cosby mentality where he's scared of Claire. He's scared to get a sandwich. He's scared to get a drink. It's like Claire watching the refrigerator. What you think about that?
Well, you asked me a lot of questions, and I'm gonna start with the first one that you asked me. Did my father run the house? And the answer is absolutely. My father not only ran the house, but he was very traditional. So I had a traditional father. But when I look back, my grandfather was a traditional man. You know what I mean? Like my uncles were traditional men. That's just what I came from. So I came from that wholesome, rich family. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's hard for me to talk about my dynamic because it's not heard of. And then I always try to reiterate the fact that my parents and my grandparents were older. My grandparents were in the 1915 and 1919. My mom and dad were in their 30s. So I'm just out the park with understanding tradition.
Different.
Yeah. But in answer to your question, yes, my father ran the house. Now, what I will say about your question about men, do I believe that Men are the men that I have as clients that are husbands. Um, if they're getting body work from me most of the time and they're in a monogamous marriage, it's usually sexless. The wives are very negative. They don't have a real relationship with them.
That's what I'm experiencing.
I told them, and I told my client, who I actually personally told him, well, you're like the husband role I need in my life because we are intimate. I don't have anything with him, but he's very husbandly for me. So what I mean by that is he can take care and come over here and take care of my water heater and make sure I'm good. And next thing you know, he's working on something. It's like, well, thank you. I appreciate you. And it's not from a space of intimacy like that, but he's not getting at home cared for. I mean, he'll stay downstairs in my energy body work and in the realm of that energy and just lay there because he doesn't get it at home. He doesn't get cared about. So as an example, you'll feel these understandings that these people are mismatched. But unfortunately, because of tradition, I told him the other day, I said, you aren't married. Stop saying that's your wife. She's not. She's your roommate. You have placed a roommate in a wife mindset for you to deal with and cope with what you're in. But the truth is, you don't even sleep together. She doesn't even wash her clothes. I was talking to him the other day. He's talking about he's ironing. I'm like, excuse me? What do you mean you're ironing? He's like, oh yeah, I'm ironing my clothes. So you talking about your roommate don't even clean your clothes for you?
Yeah, it's like I can't help but think sometime in those situations when men are in those situations, it's a fearful of losing so much. Because when you can't, how can I say this?
And
there's an old saying,
too.
Men don't need to be happy to stay married. Men don't need to be happy to stay married. Women need happiness to stay married.
True.
It's like, and I be thinking that's because sometimes a man is working so hard and he got a nice home with his wife. He got a couple of Cadillacs. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, if I leave this woman, I got to start all over. We're going to have to sell the house, or she going to get the house, or I'm going to be in an apartment. And it's like that financial, it's like financial slavery.
It
you know
is.
what I mean? And I got a partner right now. I got a partner right now. He's a good guy. And I've been trying to encourage him to cheat so bad. Boy, go get you some pussy. You'll be all right. And it's like we get together and we play Monopoly. And me and my friends and everybody just said, man, we don't want to hear that shit tonight. We don't want to hear that shit tonight. Go get you some pussy. You'll be okay. And he's one of these guys. He wants to be faithful. And he really wants to be a faithful man. But it's like, he's so fucking miserable. And I'm like, we not your goddamn counselors.
Yeah.
We come in here with a smoke a little reefer. Gonna drink a little liquor. We're going to play some goddamn cards. We're going to gamble. We're going to tell some goddamn lies, and we're going to laugh.
Right.
We don't want to hear your marriage problems. and it's like, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, go get you some pussy, man. What are you doing?
I have helped a lot of men that are in this situation right now, that are in these sexless, loveless, purposeless relationships, or whatever you want to call them, roommate arrangements. And I help them to deal with curbing that sexual urge by actually helping them energetically, because energy is chi. That's what we have. So
yeah.
if he's not even getting chi in his marriage, that means that he's not even being pleasantly treated. Which is that's worse than not getting any. You know,
it's like, we can't stand his wife. It's like we take turns playing the game and Monopoly, and it's like we like, man, when it's time to play over, and he got a big ass nice home, and it's so fun over there. He got an arcade in the bottom, pool tables, got a studio. I'm like, man, your crib's so fun, but don't nobody want to be over there. And some of it is like, I think he done badmouthed us so much to us that we just don't like her. You know what I'm saying? And then some of it is that bitch got a fucking vibe on her that if she would have never told me anything about her, you just wouldn't like. And it's like you feel so sorry for your friend, but it's like deep down, boy, if you leave that woman finna take you for every goddamn thing you got. And you feel sorry for him.
Well,
And that's why I say, and she thinks she better than him. She has that inflated ego that you're talking about.
yes,
And I'm
sir.
like, she thinks she's so much better than you, dog. Cause
Yes.
she tell him stuff like, we say we going on a fella's trip. Oh, I damn, I almost said his name. He'd have been mad as hell. Well, such and such ain't going on that. He know this. He know he ain't doing that. Such and such know he can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
so technically, she does have him by his private parts.
by his balls.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they got so much together.
But the problem, Javon, that I see in these scenarios is that the men are either dedicated to the marriage because they don't want to lose financially, or they're dedicated to their vows that they took in their marriage, and they have a strong religious background and moral code that they will not break. But
I'm sorry. He this is what he say.
Okay.
And I believe him. He like, man, I love my kids. And he said, I know for a fact that if I leave this woman, she gonna try to keep my kids from me. Cause he know her enough to know that he love his kids. That woman know that he's still with her for his kids.
Now,
And he's a football dad. His son is 16. He has another son that's 11, and he had a daughter that's 6. So they got spaced out kids. And he's a football dad, and his kids doing well in football. And, it's a situation that's like, I be joking. I be like, you kill that woman yet? You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, you can get you some pussy, you gonna kill her.
But I'm glad we're talking about this, because this is what I mean by knowing your soul version. And so, for instance, remember earlier we talked about him being a husband and his wife not being a wife. So he's now in this relationship unevenly. I mean, it's just it's not a what we call evenly yoked relationship, because of the fact that he's gifting his monogamy or his husbandry to a woman that shouldn't have been any more than a homie lover friend. That should have been the highest status. That should have been the highest status she got. And even if she was in that position, I don't know how consistent she would have been being a lover even in that position.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It's funny because like you were saying, I was saying earlier, he got that one he was supposed to get that he wasn't supposed to get. And like that tornado trying to hold on to her. Because, with men, we tell the truth and we talking. And we, men and it's sometimes men get a little offensive or just telling the truth. And I tell him, I said, man, you got the type of woman, you got to kick her in her motherfucking ass, man. You know what I'm saying? It's some women. No, I'm serious. Like you remember when Harpo told Harpo, Sid said, you got to beat that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? She was right. He just couldn't beat her. He couldn't beat her. That's why you see her next boyfriend was a heavyweight champion.
Right. But that's what I mean. But when you really are not aware of your own soul version of you that you love, because the gentleman I was explaining you to, he was explaining to me if the marriage ended or if she passed away, he would get married again. So that tells me you enjoy being in the role of husband. Yeah. But you are also, can I just say this? Because I also want to make sure that I address this. Yeah. That even men that have been married and are now ex-husbands, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're still eligible husbands now. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is some men that they will be like, well, I did well when I was a husband. It's like, that's fine. But so did a brain surgeon when he was practicing brain surgery 6 years ago. But I wouldn't let a man that hasn't been practicing brain surgery do brain surgery on me today, and he hasn't done any practicing with it. So you have to remember that once you get out of a role of being in practice of it, after a while you have to now own your truth in your soul. Your soul truth is you are not that any longer. You're no longer a husband. So that's okay. I'm just telling you that's not what you are. So don't get in your ego, inflated ego. Well, I'm a husband. No, you're not. That's not your role anymore.
He might like that responsibility of being needed.
He may have enjoyed the well, we know there's attributes to it. There's certain things to it. There's certain benefits to it that men may enjoy. But some men, once they get out of it, they convert into something else, being a single man or being a guardian or a yogi or whatever, taking care of many women. Whatever those roles are is up to him. But I'm saying that let's be honest with self. The soul study is important because just because you jumped out of a marriage, or even if you're a widower, sometimes widowers think that they're still husbands. You're not. If you are no longer practicing in that role, you're no longer a widower that is still husband-like. Sometimes you convert it into something different. Maybe you're now a new renewed man that wants to explore your options or whatever. So we have to get down and dirty with ourselves and learning our own soul status and our soul version so we can be able to predicate that information to the woman or men of our choice.
That's funny because I'm in this group and it's a relationship group, and somebody put me in the group. I don't even like groups like that because I just like, what the fuck is you in a group for? You got your own life. But somebody put me in the group, and the admin hit me up and was like, yo, somebody said you a good person for relationships and blah blah blah. You and your wife, yada yada yada. I want to put you in this group, and he was like, he would pay me $100 a month just to go in and comment from time to time. And I'd be so fucking angry, you know what I'm saying? Because it'd be such dumb shit that people ask, and it'd be like he'll tag me when he want me to comment, and when I comment, it'd be like half the people be like, yo, that's good, and then other people like, this nigga don't know what the fuck he talking about. And it's like, because I'm always telling the truth, and it's like a situation. I be like, looking at these questions,
right,
and I'd be like, is this social media? Because say, for example, one of the things was in there the other day. This lady was like, I know I got kids, and I'm dating this guy, and I got 2 kids. And I'm giving an example of what you're talking about, that ego shit. And I want you to tell me, is this social media or is that inflated ego or what the fuck is going on?
Okay.
I've been dating this man for 6 months, and I know I got 2 kids, but whenever he pick his daughter up, I just can't stand that little girl, and I don't be wanting to do her hair. And then she was like, put in parentheses, like, women don't care about men's children like men care about women's children. And it was just like, you just fucking said everything. So why is this a question? You just said you don't like doing his daughter hair, and you don't like fucking being a stepmommy, but you want him to be a stepdaddy.
Right.
No, tell me, is that ego? What the fuck is going on here? Like,
well, remember, I don't know if you remember, a couple shows back, I talked about how important it is that men make sure that the woman that they're wanting to deal with has some type of maternal instinct. She clearly does not hold maternal instinct, which means if she doesn't hold maternal instinct, then she's not going to be a woman that's going to hold maternal instinct even for her man in care.
So how does she expect him to be a father to her kids, and she don't want to be a mother to his
inflated. She's inflated in the ego, absolutely. Number one, and number two, she's selfish. So she's not a good-hearted woman. unfortunately, he'll stay with this woman and he'll keep dealing with her, but she's not someone he should ever upgrade to wife or full-time woman or top tier. She should never be that. Women like that need to not really be dealt with. If it's personally, if it was an uncle or a son or a bestie to me, I would tell him she's not eligible to have you as a top tier woman in
But
your
let
life.
me tell you what messed me up, Carla. It's almost 1,000 people in this group, and all the women in the group are explaining in their own way how, and I kind of get them.
What are they saying?
It's harder to be a stepmama than it is to be a stepdaddy because women are so much more evil and blah 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 with their kids. Like, say for example, I get where they was coming from, but they really saying women are mean. They basically saying a stepdaddy can communicate with a man better than a stepmama can communicate with a woman.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like almost saying, I give you an example of one of the comments women made, and I get it.
Okay.
Well, if a stepdaddy, he's in the house and he do this, the man understand that he just being a man of the house. But if I'm a stepmama and I do the little girl's hair and the mama don't like it, it can be some, you know what I'm saying? Like the catty shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Like the women were saying, I understand because women are more particular and more, particular about their kids and who touching their hair and what, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like,
Mm-hmm.
so y'all women literally expect a man to be a stepdad wholeheartedly, but y'all can understand why a woman don't want to be no step mama because the other woman is gonna be. Are you following me?
Absolutely. And what I would say to all of this is that, first of all, a woman that's deciding, because it's a decision, to be in a primary role with any man with children, she needs to come to terms with herself and her soul study if she's a woman that is even into children. It doesn't matter whose children it is. If you don't really like kids, you're not going to like kids. It doesn't matter if it's his or not. You probably don't even like your own. You're just not a kid person. And that's fine. Just be honest with you. Don't predicate this only based upon this being his kid and you have to have a responsibility of taking care of this. You aren't feeling him like that. Mm-hmm. If he was a man with no kids, it's probably different. But you're not really feeling him like that, because I'm going to tell you what, when you really truly as a woman, you really love a man, you're going to love any extension of that man. And the extension means his mama, his daddy, his kids, his cousins, his uncles. You're going to be okaying the extension of him. Or you don't love him like that. He's just not doing that for you. Be honest with
or what I was saying, why can't you just be an adult, even if you don't like the kids? Do right by them.
Because she doesn't have that, because not a lot of people, when we were taught young to be nice, but not a lot of people really want to play nice. They don't really, that's not really a part of them. And as they age, and you remember we were told young, be nice to everybody. Be nice, be nice, be nice. And now it's getting to the point where people aren't nice to self. They're not studying self. They're not kind to themselves. They're saying evil stuff to themselves. They bully themselves. They're nasty to themselves. They can't even have a decent internal dialogue with themselves. When they're talking to themselves, they're nasty to themselves.
Well, I give you a perfect example before we get out of here. And I'm trying to figure out this. Like, I'm looking at it like I've dated a woman with kids before, and it was a situation where I felt like her son acted gay at an early age. You know what I'm saying? And I really didn't like him.
Oh.
But listen what I'm saying. In my mind, I'm like, there's no way I can date this woman. And I hop up, where you going? To the barbershop Saturday. And I don't be like, let me come get little man. Like, You know what I'm saying? Like, let me do right by this woman just to show her that little motherfucker used to be trying to hump. You know what I'm saying? And let's wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like he was feminine, but I would tell her that. And I would keep little man with me. And I got him on the football team. You know what I'm saying? And I seen him probably a couple of years ago, and he looked like a regular nigga, grown man. But it was like, how am I dating this woman and I'm going to the barbershop and I ain't taking her son with me? That's what I'm saying. Like, how you a woman and you dating this man and his daughter over there, and he talking about, well, I'm gonna take her to get her hair braided, and you know how to braid hair, and you don't just do it, even if you don't like the little girl. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Stuff
that's what
like
I
that.
mean. That's what I'm saying, though. You're mentioning about stuff that you would go the extra mile for a woman you are into. Obviously, she's not that into him.
Okay.
Remember that? Remember that old narrative? I'm just not that into you. When you really are into somebody, this is a no-brainer. This is something that comes easy. It's not going to be a hard, real, drawn out process of thinking about doing something kind to a child. You're just going to do it because in your nature, it's your nature to be like, man, she's cool, man. I see she had a little one. Let me just take the child on. Not because of any other reason, but because you're into that person.
Yeah.
But she should not have upgraded, or he should have not upgraded the soul version of this person, knowing good and goddamn well you don't like or aren't interested in any extension of them, but only them. And that's not how it works. But again, people will take people on knowing that their soul extensions aren't something that they will be open to.
Hey, look, let me ask you something real quick, because they say the longer a man be around a woman, he gonna rub off on her. You just said, good goddamn well. Now, that's something I say all the time. Am I rubbing off on you, or do you normally say that? You normally say that, or you just came out?
It just came out. But again, if you,
It's like being around, because that's what good and goddamn well you don't like that little boy.
Right. That's my point. Because again, Javon, when we're looking at something, when we're honest about how we really truly feel about someone, it's a no-brainer. If I'm really into a man, I really care about him, I really want to be with him, it's a no-brainer to take his kids on. It's not even a thought. But again, I have to be that level.
You would think, if you into him, you're gonna take his kids on, because in your mind you want to please him, but also this gives me cool points in his eyes.
Not even just that, it's the extension of him. And being in love with someone, there's an extension of them being a part of your life. That's just that's what they come with. Like I say all the time, you and I, we have a special needs. So we got to be very particular about who we let in having access. I have an autistic grandson, and good and goddamn well, I can't just let any man in here and be okay with it, because I don't know how they will handle my normal.
Like the second he mishandle little man, his ass is out. Like, he better be patient. Little boy, get your ass on. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, when you see some people, they don't understand special needs or blah blah blah, and he might be hitting or kicking some or something stemming, and if a man don't understand that, he's like, what the hell are he kicking shit for? It's over immediately,
and you understand, because let
me take your pussy back. Get my pussy back, nigga. You don't understand my grandbaby. Get my pussy back.
Exactly.
You don't understand what happened.
Exactly. And what's so crazy is my grandson goes through different spews. He might go through a time where, like currently, he's into this new, I want to take a shower. And he takes off all of his clothing. Then he comes downstairs, butt booty naked, with the water drenched down all over him, wet, rubbing himself all down on the. Hey, what are you doing? So I never know what it's going to be. So I can't just allow anyone to have access to me, because I have a special needs baby. And I have to be even more particular about that. And as well as I do, some people won't take that on, period.
Hey, man, I feel you. I like I said, at the end of the day, when you really like somebody, you're gonna deal with what you need to deal with to have them in your life,
Absolutely.
and you're gonna go above and beyond. It's like people that I consider my friend.
Right.
I've had friends. One of my homeboys took care of me when we was on a trip out of the country, and then endeared me to him. And I was always looking for an opportunity to help the nigga back out. And he was cheating on his wife one day, and he called me. He said, "Hey man, I'm down at the beach, and I'm with my side bitch, and I done lost my goddamn keys. I need you to make up a lie and go by the house and tell my wife you got to get my other keys." And it was like 3:30 in the morning. And I jumped up out the bed like I couldn't wait to show this nigga I had his back. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was sick with COVID, he took care of me. So you know what I'm saying? I know exactly what you mean. You want to show a motherfucker that you're there. Trey Prue, I'm gonna send you the link to get a sweatshirt. And side note, while we talk about this is the clothing line I started for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Her future. It's called, I don't even know the name of it, but it's just a slogan I came up with talking to her. One must start, to catch up.
I love it.
So that's for my daughter. I always tell her when we try new stuff, you know, she don't want to eat nothing. She don't like nothing. Yeah. But you know, I tell her one must start to catch up. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was neat. Must start, catch up. So it's something that I got set up for her. I'm hoping that I can blow as a person and, you know, get this thing out there that we can set up a fund for her. You know what I'm saying? You know,
the new normal, man. We gotta have the new normal because our normals are unique. I mean, we have a very unique setup here because your baby and mine, we just have a very unique understanding. But you and I can relate because we deal with something that some other person will not. They don't understand it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Miss Carla, I appreciate you, and I appreciate y'all for staying tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. Yeah. Y'all stay tuned in tomorrow for my guy Trav. He's 9:30 on Facebook, and as the pastor would say, if all hearts and minds are clear, may the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent one from another. Peace.
Good night.